Okay, so this is a Switch. What do you get when you take a Switch and you combine it with a PC? You get a Steam Deck. Sorry, my camera's out of focus. Well, it's not really out of focus, it's just it's on a tripod, and this is the angle I'm working with, because if I go with a different angle, then the glare from my light is going to be bad. As you can see, the Steam Deck has been used. I do have a screen protector on it. This smudge right here is on the screen protector, not the actual device itself. That's just me, like, playing one of the games, just scrolling on the touchscreen, because the touchpad works kind of as a mouse. I'd rather have an actual, like, trackpad on a laptop. I'm used to that. However, this I'm not used to. And when I'm on a laptop, I can just, like, double tap on the trackpad itself as a click, you know? Oh, let me turn my Switch off. But yeah, here's my thoughts of having the Steam Deck for a few months. I meant to do this video sooner, but life, you know, life happens. I keep forgetting that it's this one. As you can see, I have a bit of a library of games. There is more that will work on the Steam Deck that I don't have installed. But, I haven't tested all of the games. Like, for example, I haven't tested Assassin's Creed Origins, and I haven't played Fallout yet. I need to uninstall Speedstorm, because I'm having an issue with the game itself, not on the deck. My issue is I can't, okay, so I have my account on my Switch. Originally, when I put my account on Steam, it worked. And I could, like, go between my Switch and Steam, no problem. But for some odd reason, I can't anymore. But that's not the deck's fault. That glitch happened way before I got my deck. Mortal Kombat, have I tried it? I don't know. I haven't tried this game or this game yet, but they'll probably run, or this one. But I'm pretty sure that will run. Because that actually works on this, surprisingly. Last night I tried that one. Works perfectly. In fact, I think the loading times is actually shorter. But I have the terabyte. Your settings. Storage. I have the terabyte, and as you can see, I am running low with space. I have like 145.2 gigabytes free. For those of you who don't understand computer lingo, I have about a little bit more than my pointer finger left to storage. And that's not much storage at all, considering this was the highest tier of storage. I have a lot of thoughts on this, but my main issue, well, not an issue, is, actually it is an issue. My main thing is, if you want a Steam Deck, go ahead and get it. It's not really plug and play like the Switch is, but that's fine. I'm not a Linux girly, so I don't know how to, like, do all the stuff that is in the Linux portion, like the the desktop mode. Yeah, I've only seen the desktop mode a couple of times. I've used it a little bit. I made icons for stuff. But I mostly use the gaming mode. So let's just go back to that. I also do use the touchscreen, as you can see, by my finger grease right there. I could probably clean that. I have dropped it once or twice, and so far it's only scuffed up a little bit. I do have a case for it. Where did I put it? Here. But the case does not play well with the dock, which I have many thoughts on. I don't like the dock at all. One thing I do like about this is you can play any soundtracks you own while playing a game. Like, I was playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I had Cult of the Lamb playing, which is pretty cool. You would not think that you could play this game and have this game soundtrack going. It is wild. Because this one is so family friendly, and this one is so not. I'm not going to play either right now because I'm not going to play the soundtrack because I don't want to get flagged for copyright or whatever. And, well, I haven't gotten flagged for copyright by actually playing the game. Also, I have my phone on a tripod, but the tripod's being funny, so I'm kind of like holding the tripod. My biggest thing is I have, as you can see, 256 games. Go back. And as you can see, only 57 of them are great on deck. So there is 190... Hold on. I need a calculator. I think it's 199. I could be wrong. It's like 9 in the morning. Math ain't mathin'. It is... Oh, 10:04. Yeah, to me, math doesn't math. Now, that is to say, I could probably play City Skylines 2, but, it is unsupported. But I could test it, see how it works. And, you know. I did try this game, which I really wanted to play. However, it just gave me a black screen. So, they are very, accurate with the unsupported. Let's see. I hear Cyberpunk is really good on here. Have not tried it. I don't think I have the room for it, honestly. What was that? Elder Scrolls Online? Yep. Also, some of these games aren't mine. Some of them are my dad's. We are on the family sharing thing. So, as I said, some of them are his. I'm not entirely sure which ones. But you know, Oblivion is his. Outer Worlds, I think, is also his. I'm kind of just going through my game list. Oh, Sims 4. I tried that one because that is one of my favorite games. Well, the entire Sims franchise, not just Sims 4. I couldn't get past the main menu. I couldn't figure out the controls, so when they say it is playable, I assume, yeah, it is, but I haven't figured it out. Also, I'm using the Switch control scheme. That is, something you can do. There's a setting for that. Oh, is Spore playable on here? No. Unsupported. That would be so funny. There's my fox. Right, Steam versus Switch controls. So as I said, I have the Switch controls on, and going from the Switch to the Steam Deck makes a lot of sense for me, except one problem is the games on, the games on here will tell you press A to continue, and my brain automatically goes here, and that's a B. And with the Switch controls, yeah, that is the B, but as you can see, the Switch controls, it's an A. So yeah. Actually, I think the game says something along the lines of, well, actually here. It says A back, B select, X sort, Y filter. Actually, let me load up Disney Dreamlight Valley so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. This is the game where I have this issue the most. It tells me one thing, and I press the button, and it's a different thing. But that is because I changed the controls in the main menu, and the game is programmed to say one thing instead of the other. While this is loading, I do want to talk about controllers. This thing does have Bluetooth, which is great, except when it's not. So let's press that, load in. I do use a knockoff Pro controller for the Switch on the Steam Deck, because that's just what I have lying around. I do have a Nintendo official Pro controller, but I prefer using that actually with the Switch because it connects automatically and it just works. It just works. With the Steam Deck, why is it? Okay, here's a great example. X is fast travel. Nope, X is not fast travel, it is Y. Yeah, see, you see it right there, it says X is fast travel. I am pressing X, and it brings up the villager thing. Whereas if I press Y, then I can fast travel.
I've got a new po' boy recipe you just have to try.
Oh, thanks, Tiana. However, the Bluetooth is very finicky. Wrong thing. It doesn't just connect. You have to actually go in and say, hey, I want this Pro controller to be connected so I can play docked, you know? Because I do have the dock. I have the official dock, which I have things to say about that thing. Also, this thing is a dirt magnet. I have bad dandruff, and I'm always finding, like, little bits of it in the little cracks. There's some right there. And keeping it clean is, like, next to impossible. Right, I was gonna change the time of day. That's what I was doing. I think it's under graphics. Not touchscreen game. Offset time of day. There we go. That's better. Oh, hi, Mushu. Yeah. Recently I did a Let's Play video of Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I was having technical difficulties connecting a controller so I could actually play the game. And it just did not want to connect for some odd reason. So I'm going to get out of this. I don't want to play right now. But I mostly just wanted to show y'all the whole button situation. And Disney Dreamlight Valley is not the only game that does this. It is also other games. Did I press the wrong button? I felt like I pressed the wrong button. No, I think I pressed the right button. It's just being silly. I will say that downloads are funny. Because here at home, it takes no time at all for stuff to download. However, I was at my best friend's house the other day watching her baby, because her baby was sick. Poor baby. She's better now, so that's good. I was at her house all day the other day, and I was downloading Oblivion, because that just came out and my dad got it, and and as I said, we have family sharing, so I was like, you know what, I want to try it on the Steam Deck, see how it plays, and it is deck verified, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. I started it at like 9 a.m. I left their house at around 6-ish, maybe 7. It still wasn't done downloading. I come home, it had maybe like a quarter left. 2 seconds. I did pause the download and resumed it as soon as I got home. It took like 2 seconds to finish. Now, that is a difference in internet. They don't have as good of an internet as I do. I have like the gamer package. They have like the basic plan, because all they're doing is basically just watching TV, and the kids each have a Switch, except for the toddler and the baby. The thing about getting the toddler a Switch, and I recommended the Switch Lite, because less moving parts. Because as much as I love the Switch, okay, I have to move this. Because as much as I love the Switch, the classic Switch, this is easily breakable. Now, I take good care of my things, so this is not broken. As you can see, it's not coming out. But this is a failure point. So, when I said I recommend a Switch Lite for your toddler, this is why. This is why I recommend a Switch Lite for the toddler. He is going on 5. And he breaks things. Like, he has an iPad. He is an iPad baby. And that screen is, like, cracked to no end. And I'm like, I hope that's a screen protector and not the actual screen. And my best friend is like, yeah, it's a screen protector. I'm like, good. You need a new one, though. A new screen protector, not a new iPad. Because the iPad works fine, other than being a little gross, because a 4-year-old owns it. That's why I put screen protectors on all of my devices. I also try to, like, put cases on all of my devices, because I am around the children. I'm around those children all the time. I'm going to cut this off. And I want my devices to be protected, so I get cases. I have a case on my Switch Lite. I have a case on my regular Switch. I have cases for the Joy-Cons. I just haven't put them back on in a while, because I couldn't put them on the little grip thingy-majiggy that came with. Oh, there's the glare. Here's the glare I was talking about. Let me put that down so it's not so glary. As I said, I do have a case for my Switch, and I have cases for the Joy-Cons. I will be getting a Switch 2 at some point. I will be getting a protective case and a screen protector, and cases for the Joy-Con 2s. But I do not have the money for that, because I spent all my money on the Steam Deck and everything that the Steam Deck needs. The dock, screen protector, case. I've gotten a couple of games. For example, Persona 5. Mainly because I wanted it. And I have been playing my Steam Deck a lot more than my Switch, mainly because, well, the graphics are better for one, and two, there are games on the deck that I've been wanting to play, but my computer can't handle, like Baldur's Gate. I need to play that a little bit more, because I can't get past, like, the beginning. Yeah, I can't get past the beginning. I have beaten Cult of the Lamb, so I'm not, like, super hyped to play that. Because I have beat it. I mean, I love it, but I'm like, time for something new, because I have beat it. I have played it. I love it, but it's time for me to move on. I mean, I will come back and play it, but that's why it's on the deck. And it actually works really well on the deck, so. And this is not in frame at all. I've mostly been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley on this thing, and that works great. Oblivion, although it is Steam Deck verified, the graphics, the pre-rendered cutscenes look amazing. The graphics of when you're in the underground, I was warned about this on TikTok, look kind of god-awful. And the overworld, I haven't seen much of, mainly because I played like 40-ish, how long have I played it? I have played 55 minutes of it, so that is how long I've played. So I've barely gotten into that game. But that looks halfway decent in the overworld. I am going to remove Disney Speedstorm right now because I need to get that fixed. I have it on my computer, but it, Tropico I think works. I haven't tried it too much. 2-Point Museum actually works. So does Uno, even though they're not deck verified. Although I did hear 2-Point Museum is coming to Switch 2. I think it is. I've heard. 2-Point Hospital and 2-Point Campus are on Switch, which is great because I love those games. I lost my train of thought. My biggest gripe about the Steam Deck is mostly the dock. That is the, it's optional. You don't have to get the dock. Why is my Switch so dusty? Yeah, as I said, you don't have to get the dock, but it is encouraged to get the dock. And I got the dock because I was like, yeah, I'll get the official dock. That'll probably work best with it, but I hate the dock. As I said, I can't have the case that I got for the deck with the dock because A, it doesn't fit on the dock, and B, the cable that you need to connect the dock to the deck does not fit with the case. It's very snug to the deck. I have a different dock on in my Amazon cart at the moment. I am going to get cleaning cloth because that smudge is bothering me. Ta-da! Cleaning. Hopefully this will take out my finger grease. At least this is just on a screen protector and not the actual deck itself. Now, I could go into all of the specs of the deck. That's much better. Now, I could go into all of the specs of the deck and everything, but this is a review for, like, the average person who doesn't know about any of that stuff and doesn't care. Kind of like me. I mean, I know all of the specs, kind of. Not off the top of my head. I can look them up. But, as long as it runs, and it runs well, I don't care. It does have its flaws and its little quirks. But you know what? That's fine. A human made it, you know? Well, I guess a machine made it, but a human came up with it, designed it, created the OS and everything. And humans are fundamentally flawed. So everything we create is also flawed. But you know what? That's fine. That's what it means to be human. I do like how every time I turn it on, I have a different animation pop up. See? Oh yeah. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Okay, so y'all saw the download screen. This thing. It will not download updates or anything when the deck is in sleep mode for some odd reason. Darn piece of dandruff right there. The deck has to be on for it to do updates. Kind of like Steam itself on the computer. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, I think I got it. There's a little piece of dandruff right there. I need to take a can of air to this thing. Anyway, Steam Deck on the, not Steam Deck, the Steam on the computer, you kind of have to have open for it to do downloads of, like, game updates and whatnot. But you can, like, minimize it and it's fine, and you can, like, do other stuff. The deck, however, you can do other stuff while it's downloading, but you still have to have it on, and it is kind of minimized. But if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna set this down for a few hours like I did the other day at my best friend's house, it is on the entire time it's downloading. You have to have it on. It does darken the screen, but you can't, like, put it to sleep and have it download while it's sleeping, which I find kind of annoying, because with the Switch, I just turned it on a few minutes ago. The first thing I saw when I turned back on is this pop-up that goes right here. It says downloaded updates to games. I don't know which ones it did, because it just does all of them all the time. But you go in sleep mode. But that is my biggest complaint about the Steam Deck, is that it doesn't automatically update stuff while it's in sleep, like other devices, like the Switch and my PlayStation, for example. My PlayStation also does updates in the background when it's in sleep mode. And so does my iPad. And I think the PS3... yeah. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't cut my PS3 on in, like, forever. But yeah, it doesn't do downloads in the background during sleep mode, which is kind of annoying, because I want to play, let's say, Hades, and there's an update, so I have to wait, and I can't, like, put it down and put it in sleep mode and, like, save the battery and come back to it, like, a few hours later. No, it has to be on. It has to be doing the download, and it wastes battery. So the other day when I was at my best friend's house downloading Oblivion, I actually plugged it up with a Switch charger, because that's what I had on me. You can actually charge this with a Switch charger. I've been using the charger that came with this as an everything charger, because it is the same wattage as the Switch charger. I want to get like a little adapter for my laptop to see if it charges that too, because that is also the same wattage. But my laptop has a little tiny connection. I don't have my laptop out, but it has this itty bitty teeny connection, and it would make my life so much easier if it was USB Type-C. The charger that came with the Steam Deck, the cord is so flipping long. Here it is. The cord just keeps going forever. I mean, here's the cord. It is like 7 feet. I am 5'4", and it is just... it dwarfs me, you know? It is probably like 6 feet, 6.5 maybe. But it is long. And I use it for my iPad, the Switch, the Switch Lite, the Steam Deck, anything that takes USB Type-C. I would love to put my laptop on it too, because it is the same wattage. Unfortunately, my laptop does not do USB Type-C, which is annoying, because everything else is, and everything is becoming USB Type-C. My phone is not USB Type-C, but it is MagSafe, so I can use a little dock I have for that. My headphones, my AirPods, I don't think are USB Type-C. I think they are Lightning, like my phone is, because I have an iPhone. I'm still, it's an older one. I'm still paying on it, but it's whatever. That's what I'm recording all of this on, is my phone. But yeah, USB Type-C is great until it's not. And when it's not, that's fine. It's whatever. I will say I have not gotten an SD card to put in this little slot here. Whoops, what am I doing? Go back. I think I accidentally pressed a button. I'm going to turn you off. I love that little animation. This whole thing is disorganized. I had a script. Do I have it open and in front of me? No. As I said, I have many thoughts about the dock. I have already recorded those portions. I don't need to talk about them right here in this section. Right, I don't have a little expansion card yet. I will be getting one at some point. But y'all saw how many games 1 terabyte holds, and I just uninstalled one, so I'll probably have even more room. Is that under the glass? I think that is under the glass. The OLED screen is pretty nice. I don't really feel like I care about the OLED. I mean, actually, hold on. Let me pull up Persona 5 and show y'all a little difference, because I did notice last night about how black the main menus. Let me turn this thing down. Also, the loading times on this thing is pretty fast. Alright, so the Steam Deck is pulling it up, and so is the Switch. It said A for next, but I pressed B because, as I said, I switched it to the Switch controls. Look how black that is. Now, let me cut the light off, because that'll probably help. Whoa, can't even see the Steam Deck. I mean, you obviously see a difference. It's like apples and oranges. I don't even know why I'm comparing them. But you see how black the black is. I mean, look at that black. Let me get this one to the main menu. And this is because this is an OLED screen and this is an LCD screen. I don't have an OLED switch to compare. But as you can see, the Steam Deck is way more sharp and the blacks are blacker. The Switch looks halfway decent, but the Steam Deck obviously has more power, has a better screen, and everything. That building is even... I think that building's being cut off a little bit. But yeah, you can see the difference. This is the Steam Deck. You can see how crisp and good it looks. Just look at that crowd. And then here's the Switch. It kind of looks a little bit more fuzzy, to be honest. But the blacks aren't that black. Whereas the Steam Deck, you can't even tell where the game ends and the Steam Deck begins in the dark. Now, that's pretty cool. I did notice that last night. And now there's a glare and now it doesn't matter. But I'm going to cut both of these off. It is so funny because I am so used to cutting the Switch off up here. And I have to like retrain my brain because the button is right here on the Steam Deck. As I said, I will be getting a Switch 2. I will probably do a compare and contrast with the Steam Deck versus the Switch 2, because the Switch 1 isn't really much of a comparison, because it is, well, last-gen hardware at this point. Not saying that it's bad hardware, it's really good. It does great in what it does, but as I said, I wanted to get the Steam Deck for PC games to play on the go. Like, as I said, I babysit quite often, and sometimes I just want to play a PC game when I'm babysitting. Or if I'm, like, traveling somewhere and I'm, like, in the passenger seat and I'm just tired of my Switch library, I can just, like, pull out the Steam Deck. I have not played it without an internet connection so far. That has not been something I've had a problem with. Because everywhere I go, I do have access to Wi-Fi, so that hasn't been an issue. Whereas if I take this thing anywhere, I need an internet connection, because this is actually my, well, this is my first Switch, but it is not my main Switch. My main Switch is my Switch Lite. And if you know anything about Switches, then you know if you have more than one, you have to designate which one is your main one, which one is your secondary. Jeez. And if you have a secondary Switch, you have to have a constant internet connection so it can let you verify whatever. And you saw the little pop-up when I pulled up Persona 5. It was like, oh, verifying that you can play this. I don't have that issue with the Steam Deck. I don't think I will have an issue if I have like 2 Steam Decks, but I'm not getting a second Steam Deck because I don't feel the need to have a second Steam Deck. Whereas when I got my Switch, I felt like I needed a Switch Lite. Because reasons, you know. Maybe I need to go back to bed after I'm done filming this. Is there any other thing that I should talk about? I'm gonna stop this and read my script. Alright, so I have my laptop out. I am looking at it, at the script I wrote down. I listed some pros and cons. The pros are the Steam library. I've already talked about that. Screen size. I do like the screen size. I already talked about the music. I talked about how you can customize it a little bit with, as I said, the different movies. I love this one. This one's cute. And the funny thing is Persona 5 is playing in the background. Just gonna close that. And actually, I'm going to play that little animation for y'all without the music. Isn't that just so cute? Let's see, what else did I want to say? The games, yeah, I already talked about that. Portability. Now, portability is a double-edged sword, because, yes, it is very portable. It's got a little heft to it, but it's not something that's, like, too heavy. It's okay for, like, playing for, like, an hour or so. And then, like, putting it down and stuff. It does travel well. It does come with a little carrying case. I don't like the carrying case that it came with, to be honest. I do have comments about that in another section of the video. However, one thing about portability is the size. As you can see, it is like like about a yay bigger than the Switch. And this is the mainline Switch, not the Switch OLED. You see how big the Steam Deck is compared to the Switch. It pretty much engulfs it, which is great because you get a much bigger screen. I mean, look at those bezels. Whereas the bezels on this one are a bit smaller. I mean, you can see the bezels are a lot smaller. I carry around little mini backpacks as purses. The Steam Deck, in its case, will not fit in one of my mini backpacks. It does fit in my larger backpack that I take when I go babysit. But it does not fit in any of my purses. It doesn't fit in my church purse. It doesn't fit in my everyday purses. It just does not fit any of my purses. And as a woman, that's kind of a point of contention, because purses are meant to carry everything because we don't have pockets. And if I was a man and I had pockets, I don't think the Steam Deck would fit in one of my pockets if I was a man. The Switch, I could probably get away with putting in my pocket. The Switch Lite, definitely. The Switch and the Switch Lite both do fit in my purses, so that definitely helps with portability. Alright, so the cons... Yep, I've already talked about all that, except for the buying games and checking out. Now, this is a Steam-wide issue. Okay, so let's say you're on Steam and you want to buy a game. Now, I already have all my card information and everything on here. But, say you go to the store, you go Oop. No, I don't want to see whatever that is. Let's say I want to buy this 99 cents My Hero Academia One's Justice additional thing. It's 99 cents, no problem. I go to checkout and it asks for the little code on the back of my card, which is fine. It's a little security thing. However, I do the same thing on the Switch. It doesn't ask for anything. Now, that could be a good or a bad thing, depending on who you are. But for me, I don't have an issue with security because it's just me. Now, if I have children, it would be a different story. I wouldn't want them buying things left and right, so I would want that security code on the back of my card. But I could also, like, have parental controls and have them be blocked from the store to begin with the parental passcode. But I am not a mother. I am an aunt. And the children I watch don't touch my stuff unless I let them. And I am present and hovering over them to make sure they don't do anything that, like, either ruins my saves, messes up anything, charges my credit card. Which I don't have a credit card at the moment, I just have debit cards. So charging my debit card. I have actually my iPad and my phone locked to where if I want to make a transaction, I have to use my face or passcode, even for free stuff. So I am, like, mindful of things about children because I do interact with children on a pretty regular basis. But when it comes to convenience, I guess I should say, I like things being convenient. Now, obviously the Steam Deck, I can't use my face to buy anything like I do with my phone, so I would think that I could just, like, go through the process of purchasing without even thinking about it. However, it does make me type in the security code on the back of my card sometimes, not every time, but sometimes. The Switch I have absolutely no issue with, but that is a difference in, I don't know. That is one thing I don't like, is it's kind of slightly inconvenient to buy games. Now, I did buy some currency for Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I did buy Persona 5 Royal within the last, like, 48 hours. I didn't have to put in the card information that it asked me for, so as I said, it only happens sometimes. But it's, like, not every time, which I would get if it's all or nothing, but sometimes is kind of annoying. Because I'm like, do I need to go get my card? Do I not need to go get my card because my card is in the other room? And I could be, like, laying in bed or, like, doing something else. And I'm like, why do I have to go get my card? Oops. Why should I have to go get my card? It's kind of a pain in the butt to pull out of my wallet. But I digress. But that's just a little nitpick. Overall, I love my Steam Deck. It was a great purchase. I will be testing out more games. I will be expanding the storage with an SD card. I don't think I'll do the replacement of the hard drive. Well, the SSD. Mainly because I don't feel comfortable enough as a repair person to do such a thing. because the last time I tried to repair something, I broke it. And that was my nephew's Switch. He had a Switch Lite. I was replacing the Joy-Cons, ended up accidentally ripping out the speakers, and it kind of bricked it. So I ended up just straight up replacing his Switch. So, because I felt really bad, I was like, great. On to the year over here. But yeah, the speakers are super delicate on this stupid thing. As I said, I don't feel comfortable opening this up to do any, like, mods, like a new hard drive or whatever. The joysticks are fine. The buttons are satisfyingly clicky. There's buttons on the back. I haven't really actually used these at all. So, I kind of like just clicking them just to like click them. These, you can't click, which, weird. Because I am so used to, this is my crappy laptop. I am so used to taking the trackpad and going, and like double click. You can click the buttons, and it works. I pulled up a menu. And the clicks just work, and double tap works, and everything. If I want to use the trackpad here, I have to use the back trigger. And that just kind of annoying. But that's kind of a nitpick. But yeah, this is mostly just me talking as like an average everyday person and not like a tech person, even though I kind of am a tech person. And you know what? We kind of need non-techish tech reviews for the people who don't understand like what an NVIDIA driver is. I mean, I know what it is, but layman's terms, you know? Overall, as I said, I do love the Steam Deck. I will be keeping the Steam Deck. I'm not returning it or anything. I'll be experimenting with more games. I do play a lot of Let's Plays on my channel. Lately I've mostly been doing Disney Dreamlight Valley, and most of that has been on the Steam Deck instead of the Switch, even though the Switch I have both of the DLC for on there, and I don't have the DLC on Steam. I'll be getting that eventually, but for right now, I'm not. And when I do go to do the Let's Play with the DLC, I will be going back to the Switch. But yeah, I have been using the Steam Deck for my channel recently. I will be getting a better dock. That is for certain. I do have one on my Amazon cart. I will be getting that eventually. But for right now, I will be using the dock it came with, and I will just have to be dealing with the inconvenience of that dock itself, because as I said, the dock does not like the case I got for the Steam Deck. The dock is very like precision. If I put it in the dock like this, it actually stays up. If I have the case on it, it just like flops around. It is not stable at all, and that makes me nervous because, well, yeah, because it's my new baby, you know. It does take up a good portion of my desk, I will say that. And if I have my iPad and the Steam Deck on, if I have the Steam Deck and my iPad on my desk, they don't both fit. It has to be either one or the other. Trying to think of what else to say. It is cumbersome, but you do get a nice big screen, and the screen looks really nice. The graphics are really nice. Everything is nice, crisp, and clean. The textures are nice. I know I'm kind of going into tech terms. I'm sorry. But that's just kind of part of the job, I guess. This is my first actual like tech review, so I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, the whole space galaxy thing was actually my laptop. That was actually like my lap desk for my laptop, and I pulled it out so I could see the script. So I took it off of this little desk. This little desk is it's another lap desk. Well, it's more like a TV tray, but I kind of use it as like a nightstand and like an extra desk. My actual desk is over there. You can see my chair, and I do have a nightstand, but basically my phone and a couple other things stay on my nightstand, whereas this is where everything is. This is where I keep my laptop, where I keep my Switch light, where I keep my little, where I keep my remote for my TV, and I also have a little planner for my year, a little daily planner. I love this thing. It has kept me so organized this year, and I will be doing a planner again next year. Writing things down just helps, and it gives me a list of things I want to do during a day, and it reminds me of what I need to do, because yesterday I needed to do dishes, but I also thought I had to watch the baby again, so I wrote watch baby ? I didn't write watch baby, I wrote her name. That's why I'm covering it up. And as I checked off, I did dishes, but I didn't check off watch baby because that was a question mark. I did watch her the day before and Tuesday, because as I said, poor baby was sick. So today is Friday the 25th. I can actually record Steam Deck review. I can check that off. Oh yeah, and he took my clothes out of the dryer. See, this is why I have a planner. This is why I write things down. Because I have ADHD and autism, and that's a fun combo. So, object permanence, like I forgot about my laundry. I need to go get that. Yes, I want to ship that item. Sorry, I got an email from, well, not an email, but a text from Walmart saying that an item was unavailable. And I'm trying to ship it, but it's saying it's unavailable to ship. Lovely. So, as I said, this is my first tech review. If I do want to get a Switch 2. That is in the cards of something I want. And since I'm a gaming channel and kind of tech channel, I am going to prioritize. What am I, Elmer Fudd? Prioritize getting a Switch 2. I unfortunately spent way too much money on Disney Dreamlight Valley and Persona 5, so I am less money, but luckily Persona 5 was on sale. She laughs nervously. But that was a good comparison of the screen, because as you saw, the blacks were very black, whereas the Switch, not so much. The Switch 2, I hear it has an LCD screen, so the blacks probably aren't going to be that black, but I will be doing a comparison when I finally get it, because the Switch 2 library and the Switch 1 library kind of like are like that, or like the same, which is great for me because the entire direct for the Switch 2, where they were announcing everything, all of the games other than the James Bond game and basically the James Bond game, were the only things that piqued my interest. I'm like, I already have like Animal Crossing. I love that. Tomodachi Life is exciting. I really want Tomodachi Life, but that was announced for the Switch 1. It'll probably run better on the Switch 2. Get off my screen. It'll probably run better on the Switch 2, but that is the only like major title that I'm excited for. I'm not interested in FromSoft games, so I wasn't too thrilled about those. I have no interest in them, so being that FromSoft games kind of took up like a good portion of that direct, kind of didn't interest me at all. I'm not really a big Mario Party person because I've never played Mario Party because I've never had anybody to play Mario Party with. That and the Wii was my first Nintendo console, and I am an only child, so as I said, I don't have anybody to play Mario Party with. I am somewhat interested in Mario Kart World, but not enough to pay $80 for, so I will probably be getting the bundle. So I will need $500, which I do not have, which I will hopefully make by then when it comes out in June. But I highly doubt it because we have like a month and I don't know if I can make that much. Time to babysit, I guess. Yeah, I don't think, I'm not too interested in Mario Kart. I do have Mario Kart, on here because, I fell in love with Disney Speedstorm. Yeah, see? Mario Kart. But I don't even have it installed on the moment. So that's kind of funny. Overwatch I've only played like 5 minutes of. Mainly because they had like My Hero Academia stuff. But as soon as I started playing, they didn't have the My Hero Academia stuff anymore. So that was kind of lame. I'm an anime fan, okay? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the Direct. Most of the games I wasn't interested in, except for maybe the James Bond game, because when I was in high school, I was obsessed with spies. Might be interested in the Hitman game a little bit. I have been interested in Hitman a little bit before. Like, it is in my radar of stuff, but the rest of the Direct, not really my jam. But I do have a little bit of a library on the Switch 1, which I know will cross over to the Switch 2. I think the only games that won't work with Switch 2 was probably the Labo stuff, but I don't have any of the Labo stuff, so I'm not worried about it. And that is a great point of why I got the Steam Deck, because I have this, as you saw, like 256 games on Steam, and my computer can't handle all of them. So the Steam Deck can handle those games that my computer can't. Well, except a few of them. So that kind of like fills this slot of there are games I want to play, but my computer can't handle it, so I got the Steam Deck. That is the main reason why I got the Steam Deck, because, well, obviously my computer can't handle certain games like Assassin's Creed. I think I was playing Origins. My computer heated up so bad you could probably fry an egg on it. I need to get that fixed. Because it is a really good computer. It has a really good graphics card, lots of RAM, but it has an overheating problem, which is why I say my computer can't handle certain games. Like, Oblivion, for example. My computer would definitely not be able to handle Oblivion. This thing actually did get a little hot while playing yesterday. But, I don't have to worry about this thing overheating because, well, I guess it does overheat, but I don't really worry about it because, well, I guess I probably should worry about it. But it doesn't get that hot, I guess. Whereas my computer, you can fry an egg on. This thing just gets a little toasty, but not too bad. The fan does kick up. The fan is pretty loud. Let me pull up Oblivion. Let me pull up Oblivion just to like show y'all the fan. The fan does get pretty loud. Actually, I don't know if it'll kick up. I mean, right now the fan is decent. You can't hear it, but it is running. There's a fan there, and there's airway there. No airways down here, which I find funny. The fan has not kicked up yet. I do like the music for this game. Let's see if the fan will kick up, because the fan is quite loud. Alright, I'm in the overworld. It's quite pretty. Forgot where everything is. Let me go here. Maybe it'll kick up here. Man, I've been rambling pretty much for about an hour. Okay, so the fan's not really kicking up any. My cat wants to come in the room. No, Salem. He's like, dang it. He's got a little paw under the door. I would show it, but it requires taking my phone off the tripod. Okay, so the fan's not kicking up. Maybe if I go in the city. Excuse me. Oh, there's the fan. Oh, this is not the city. But the fan did kick up for like a second. Is it raining? Oh, it's raining. I did not mean to go into the palace. I meant to go into the city. I wanted a populated area with a bunch of people. That's kind of graphically intense, you know? Oh, look at the dragon statue. To the back of a dragon statue. To the front of it. That's better. Yeah, the fan does kick up pretty... Oh! The fan has kicked up. I heard it. I heard it over the music. I'm gonna save and quit. As I said, the buttons it tells you down here is very confusing because they're different right there. And quit. I do like how when I'm in a game and you're on the main menu, it's like quit is one of the options. That just, yes, I would like to quit. I wish that would happen on the Switch, but it doesn't. But yeah, I have been rambling for an hour about the Steam Deck and the differences between that and the Switch. So I'm gonna shut up and interject the clips that I've already recorded into this video and edit it all together. This is my experience as like an average everyday gamer that isn't that savvy with Linux and isn't like major like techie. I mean, I am pretty techie. I built my computer, but at the same time I'm like a novice techie, so I'm not like super experienced like the people at Linus Tech Tips or anybody else. I can't think of anybody else. Maybe Bob from Wolf Den. I watch him. But yeah, I am not that techie. I mean, I did try to fix my nephew's Switch by replacing the joysticks, but I ended up breaking it and having to replace it, so because I did not want to pay an arm and a leg to send it off to Nintendo for them to fix it and laugh at me for breaking it in the first place. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna trash this one and just get him a new one, because that would have been cheaper, and it was in the long run. But yeah, this is my thoughts. I do love the Steam Deck. I will be keeping it. I do love it. I will continue to use it, even if I get my computer fixed to where it doesn't overheat and I can actually play more. Or if I like get a separate computer and use the computer I have right now as a server, which is kind of what I want to do. Like, just scrap the whole thing and start over. I was gonna say something else and then I totally forgot. Gotta love the ADHD, you know? But yeah, if I do end up fixing my computer or replacing it, I will still keep the Steam Deck because it is handy. Because sometimes I don't want to sit at my computer and play a game. Sometimes I just want to like rot in bed and play. And that's where the Steam Deck comes in. Is just the bed rotting. And basically that's also what I do with the Switch Lite. This one I mostly use for recording Let's Plays and stuff. And I need to shut my laptop. It went to sleep mode. Well, I went to screensaver, but I need a new laptop. This one is a really crappy one. I needed to replace it. I mostly use it to type, which is fine because I like the keyboard on it. But you try to do anything else and it just, ugh. I did try to replace the RAM in my laptop, but that didn't work. It just black screened on me. So I had to put the RAM back. I tried to upgrade it. See, that is how bad of a tech person I am. I tried to upgrade my tech and it just does not work. I did upgrade the hard drive to an SSD in my laptop. That did work. However, the RAM upgrade, which is basically the speed, did not work. So I fixed my computer only slightly. It runs a whole lot better now that I have an SSD in it, but not to the performance that I want it at, you know? I want it to be able to handle more than one Firefox tab at a time. Unfortunately, it does not do that. I seriously cannot believe I've been talking for like an hour and have not had a sip of water. I'm trying to think of if I want to say anything else. I guess y'all can like drop comments down below asking me questions that you want to know about the Steam Deck. I will try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Well, yeah, I'll see you next time. Normally I put this at the end of the video, but I will blah 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 blah. Normally I put my little ending at the end of the video, obviously, but as I said, I will be putting in clips about my thoughts on the dock in here, and I really don't feel like editing a video, but here I am needing to edit a video because well, that's kind of my job right now. Well, I'm not getting paid for it yet. Yeah, I have less than 200 subscribers, so I'm not in the AdSense program yet. So if you want to subscribe, I'm not going to say no. Stay tuned for Let's Plays, probably more tech reviews. I'll only be doing reviews for like tech that I want, like the Switch 2, for example. I don't think I'll do any of the Ion Neo stuff or the ROG Ally or anything else because I don't want any of that unless they like send it to me or something, but I highly doubt that because I'm not like big enough for them to send me anything. But yeah, this is all unpaid. My personal opinion, I'm not paid to do this, so this is all just me and word vomit that is my own thoughts and opinions, and I'm not being paid to say anything, which I know I'm reiterating, but I just wanted y'all to know that this is not paid at all. I'm not sponsored. I didn't get anything for free. So maybe some free to play games, but that's about it. Yeah. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye. I totally forgot. I wanted to say something else. The Steam Deck. It's very smooth. Like there's no grip to it. There's like no like rubber bits to like keep it from doing that. Now I live in a house where it's not level, and also my room has a soft spot on the floor. I need to get that fixed. My dad says he's gonna get it fixed, but I haven't seen him do anything. I haven't seen him do squat. So my lap desk is always at a little bit of slant, so that's why stuff falls, which is why I get cases. As you can see, that this slides around like crazy without the case, which is why I got the case, because it's rubber. And with the case, let me just pop it in. Get in there. This ain't going nowhere. Yeah, it doesn't slide around. Yeah, that's another complaint I have, is that it's too smooth. It's too smooth. It's too sleek. I never thought I'd ever have to say something along those lines, but here I am, complaining about something being too smooth. But yeah, that's a little thing I wanted to add. Alright, so here's the dock. Here's the connection to the dock. I mean, There's no like connection on the bottom, so it makes sense that it be on the top, but here's the dock. Oh, for the love, my phone's fussing at me for the light. And it kind of just sits on it. I have a very long HDMI cable plugged into it. I need to clean my floor. For 80 bucks, this thing should be better. It does charge the Steam Deck, which is good. And I can also, like, HDMI it to my computer. I love that Starnet movie. Yeah. The dock is alright. I haven't messed with all of its features, but, mainly just the HDMI cable. Let me unplug this. There. I feel like I'm going to break that. Move the Steam Deck, because it does have an Ethernet and a couple of USBs. And another HDMI port. This thing's fully charged, so I don't need to charge anymore. In fact, I'm going to put that somewhere else. But yeah, this I don't think was worth 80 bucks. It should have been a pack-in for free. Now here we have the Switch and the Switch dock. Look at how sturdy and stable it is. And you just bloop, bloop. Perfect. I love it. No notes. And yes, I do have a Galaxy decal on it. Actually, I do have a couple of notes. If you don't have a screen protector on, this can scratch your screen. I definitely have a screen protector on. Also, with this case I have on it, it makes it a little bit more snug. And if I didn't, well, I don't have the case on the Joy-Cons. They didn't slide into the little grip that they came with when I had a little case on it. I have no idea what that little grip is. I need to clean my room. But yeah, this is a dock. This is a very good dock. Why isn't the Switch Deck, not the Switch Deck, the Steam Deck dock anything like this? Instead, we have this. I don't feel comfortable putting my deck on it, especially without any like protective case or anything. I need to get a protective case for my deck. Alright, so the Steam Deck did something weird. I wanted to listen to some music while I was doing something else, but for some odd reason this little bar kept going whoop, whoop, without actually playing the song. I did restart it. You can actually like completely restart it. Just go here, hit power, shut down and restart and sleep. Cancel. And I restarted it, and let's listen to some Cult of the Lamb by Riverboy. It's working now. Also, I love the soundtrack. But yeah, it's working now. Why did I have to restart you? You are a computer, aren't you? I will say a cool feature of this is you can listen to music while playing games. I was playing Disney Dreamlight Valley and I actually had the Cult of the Lamb soundtrack going on. And that was pretty cool. So you can listen to music and play games at the same time. Now I'm pretty sure I can put my Spotify on here. I just haven't figured that out yet. Because I've literally on this thing for like 3 days maybe. So I'm still learning all of its quirks and stuff. And how to use it, you know? But yeah, it's kind of on the dead side right now, so I had to plug it up. Well, it was at 30%, so it wasn't like dead, so I don't like this dock. I feel like it's gonna fall out of it. Okay, so another thing about the dock I just learned, this does not work with cases, which lovely. So, yeah. This being the little connector. You know what, I'm not going to unplug it. The little plug that connects the deck to the dock. And yes, it is 1 in the morning. I'm a night owl, so this is normal for me. So, okay, so I know this is different quality than what my phone is. This is my Sony Handycam. I just wanted to show y'all that with a case on it, the Steam Deck does not fit all that well on the dock. It is very, very not secure. Might have to find like a different dock for this thing, because does not fit at all. The funny thing is, I don't like this dock at all, so it's not any skin off of my teeth that it doesn't fit. But at the same time, I did spend quite a bit of money on this stupid thing, so the Steam Deck, not stupid. The dock, very stupid.